The Commanders continue rolling, and as they defeat the Houston Texans 23-10. Taylor Heineke continues to roll as well as the Commanders' starting quarterback. He has now won 4 of his 5 starts this season, leading the charge for the Manders after taking over for Carson Wentz. In this game, he did not have to do too much. He was just there. He didn't have to do a whole lot. He was 15 of 27, 191 yards, no turnovers, no touchdowns. Sometimes that's what you just have to do against the Houston Texans team that it has been struggling and will just probably continue to struggle. In a game like this, Aaron, what stood out to you the most?
Well, I think how it played out is exactly what we thought. The Washington Commanders ran the ball 40 times for 153 yards. So, albeit the Texans played better against the run, Brian Robinson, first of all, turned back into Brian Robinson. I knew you can't trust him. You just can't trust the guy. Can't trust the man. But he turned it back into Brian Robinson, but they kept running the ball. Antonio Gibson ran the ball. Brian Robinson ran the ball. They ran some more, and and they played good defense. But I told you that this defensive line for Washington is real. And they stopped Dameon Pierce. Matter of fact, they picked him up and body slammed him like he was in the WWE or AEW. Literally picked him up and body slammed Dameon Pierce. I did think that Houston continues to – the offense baffles me at times. They get away from the run game early when they go down, and I don't think they have to. I think they need to understand what their identity is, and that's just run the football. And they need to be more creative in the run game. So I was disappointed they only got 10 carries. I thought that was a mistake. I know the game got out of hand in the second quarter, but look, 20-0. It's crazy that people it'll be 20-0 and teams panic. And I'm not saying it's easy to come back from 20-0, but when they score that 20th point, what happens? You get the ball back. If you go down and score, it's 20-7. That game looks a whole lot different at 20-7 than it does at 20-0. Hell, even 20-3 looks a whole lot different than 20-0. I feel like teams see that and they panic, and then it's throw. And guess what? You're punting again. Now you're giving them a chance to make it 23 or 27-0. So I thought they got away from the run game a little early. Davis Mills is not Dave. He's done, man. He's done. I said it last year. I thought his rookie performance was a little bit overhyped. He played good, but it wasn't great, and I thought it was a little bit overhyped on how good he had played. And this year it's showing he regressed significantly. And I do think Houston goes and looks for a quarterback in the draft.
Oh yeah, I think so as well. I think they're on the fast track of getting that first overall pick, and CJ Stroud being announced as the next Texans starting quarterback is in their future, in my opinion. But Davis Mills, 19 of 33, 169 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Talk about the rushing game for the Houston Texans, and they only rushed for 21 yards on 16 carries as a team. Just not a good day as a whole from the Houston Texans offense. The defense, the Commanders, though, give them a lot of credit for shutting them down. Josh Allen and Montez Sweat both had 2 sacks each. It's the first 2-sack game of the season for Allen, second for Sweat. Sweat has 6 sacks this year. That defensive line, that defense does have the potential to be game-changing. And although it was against the Houston Texans, they still changed the game and helped the Commanders get the win here, 23-10, as the Commanders are now in a playoff spot. They're just outside of the playoffs. They are just outside of the playoffs. If the Niners lose tonight, they will be in a playoff spot. The Commanders will hold that last spot. Just saying.
Man, we still got 8 weeks. What are you talking? Ain't nobody worried about no playoff spot right now for no 6-5, 5-6 teams. There's gonna be so much that happens between now and week 15. I honestly, I'm a big fan of talking about playoffs after Thanksgiving. So okay. I think we're a week early. I do think we're a little bit of a week early, but I think it does speak to being a game out or half game out or whatever they are now. I think it speaks to the run that they've been on, 5 of 6. They were dead in the water. Remember, they were dead in the water with Carson Wentz after week 4 or 5. So shout out to Ron Rivera and Taylor Heineke for getting them on track.
Yep, 4-1 now under Taylor Heineke as the Commanders defeat the Texans 23-10.